Welcome to the Academy Answers podcast. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening in. And we always get started this way. We play our creed, something we live by. And that is, we don't worry, we work. We don't doubt, we believe. We don't make excuses, we hustle. We don't talk about it, we are about it. We don't follow, we lead. We don't do it to have, we do it to become. We're not victims, we take responsibility. We're not suckers, we earn our spot. We're not a statistics, we stand for something. We are not the clay, we are the potters. We design our own lives. Let's jump into the podcast, guys. Hope it can bring you some value today. Let's go. Hey, Academy Answers morning. How you doing? Happy to come to you this morning again. And this is the Academy Answers podcast. If it's the first time you're here, we answer the questions that we get from our blog, social media, and generally people who reach out to us from our email list. We do a personal development blog. Speaking of happiness, freedom, success, full potential. Freedom, full potential, pursuing your passion. Everything in the realm of personal development, that is our deal. Our deal is manifesting your greatness, releasing your craft into the world, creating something. Because we strongly believe that unless you create something from the gift you have been given, then you would have shortchanged the universe, who has granted all things to you, who has made access all things to you. It's only for you to tap into that and to view the world from that perspective. So today we'll answer the question of, what if I don't know what I want? I don't know my passion. I don't know what I want. I don't know X. I don't know Z. And there are many ways to find out what you want. First, you have to be intentional about it. You have to deliberately go seek it out, and you have to have the patience to wait, to go through some stuff, to try some stuff, to back off some stuff. You know, initially when I just started out when I was a kid, I grew up in a farming community, and in the summer months or on the weekends, it was really a mountainous section of Jamaica. It's on top of the Jayaba Mountain in St. Anne, Jamaica. Now, many of you may have heard of Jamaica. You probably heard of Ocho Rios. Ocho Rios is a city in St. Anne. You probably heard of Montego Bay. St. Anne is a parish. St. James is a parish. Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, these other tourist spots like Negril, these are the cities in a bigger parish. And if you're from a first world country, you probably know of a state, and then there will be the city within the state. So that's how we break it down. We call it parishes and stuff like that. So I used to be in the rural parish, rural St. Anne, the parish of St. Anne. I was in the rural area, a place known called Abuka. It's a French word. Not sure what it means, but it's a French word. Anyway, so when it was weekend during the summer months, I used to be sitting under an apple tree, really shaded when it was hot. And we don't have high humidity in these rural areas. So always cool. So the sun is hot, but if you get under a tree or something, then it's cool there. So it's really shaded, and you don't have that high humidity, that sort of heat that you get in a country that is probably a little bit closer to the equator or further from the equator. Forgive my geography. So I used to sit under a tree and I used to reminisce about what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a boxer at one point. I wanted to be a movie star watching Wesley Snipes. I wanted to be a businessman. That's what going into high school, and then I wanted to do music. So I was actually into the music stuff. Went to entertainment school, doing entertainment courses, working with promotion companies, signing artists. Then I was actually physically, singing also, and I was doing that for a little while until I started to open and do business as an entrepreneur at heart. And then I was always doing business ever since, from the back of my car trunk, from out of my apartment. And then I started in this personal development blogging. That's about 2014 or 13. I started personal development blogging and mushroomed into many other stuff, wrote an ebook and all that stuff. Well, maybe it sounds probably fortunate for me because I identified a couple of things that I liked, and I tried them out, and I decided which part I want to be. I understand that some people don't run that same paradigm, and that is okay. But as I said before, you have to be intentional about what you want. And that's the first thing. Step off, be intentional about what you want. Roll into a couple of options. I think the researcher says that there are about 4 things that everybody could do well if they, try to. Like, we have the gifts and talents to do about 4 things, and there's one that we could really nail. And it doesn't matter which one you end up with, you could probably take it to the highest level. And it could probably get you to the level of freedom that you want. It could probably get you to the lifestyle that you want, and help you to create the impact and to serve at the level that you really want in your heart to serve at. So one of the things I always say is that if you don't know what you want, find out what direction you don't want your life to go in. So if you don't want your life to be wake up every morning, run around trying to keep up with life, punch a clock, being slaved at work, paid poorly, being abused, being undermined, if you prefer to be traveling the world, if you prefer to be starting charities, if you prefer to be making and inventing stuff, if you prefer to be painting, if you prefer to be playing music, decide what you would like or what you would rather be doing instead of what you're doing now. You must know the life that you complain about. At least everybody knows that. I don't want X, I don't want Y, I don't want that. When you know what you don't want, then you can flip it and you can decide, okay, this is the direction that I want my life to go in. We're not talking about what exactly it is that you will be doing, but you have to decide the direction that you want your life to go. If you don't like working for people, if you don't like being on a schedule, then whatever you do, you know that you must make a business of it. That's the first thing. If something bothers you, which is the second thing, let's say it peeves you or it gets you really upset when you see someone wearing mismatched stuff, when you see someone speaking incorrectly, when you see some injustice being handed out to people. That's another hint. When you see a hair and you feel like going over there and fix it, when you feel like going over there and when the first thing you look at is someone's shoe, when the first thing you jump at and talk about is the type of programs that you watch are investigative stuff. Like, there are clues in your life. When you take a plant that everybody else say couldn't look good or doesn't do right, and you touch it and it works and it grows and it looks good. When you move into a house and you spend most of the time decorating it, like, there are hints and you can stretch that. And if you start to expose yourself to information and to other people doing it, then it will open up to you. But be patient about discovering what is it that you're passionate about. Talk to some people around you, which is a third thing. Ask them what is it that you're always doing, what they think is uniquely you. Because sometimes people on the outside looking in can have better perspective than you. And the next thing is, go back to school. Think about the things that you are doing well in school. And this is something that I feel really strongly about. I see tons of kids who were performing at the highest level in school, who are out here being boxed around, performing at the highest level in school, in sports, in different vocational areas, and they're out here trying to find themselves, doing menial jobs, being paid nothing, in a funk, trying to find a way out when they were so talented in these areas. Look, you don't have to go pro, you don't have to go to the league, you never had to make it to the Olympics to still do something in that area if it's sports. You don't have to be on a record to do something in music. Look, this is a new world. There are people selling music gigs, music instructions, music courses on Fiverr, on Upwork, different areas. Writers, different people who could write essays in school, they are now on Upwork writing on different writing sites. All different opportunities are out there. So Google is your friend, YouTube is your friend, Facebook is your friend. Once you start to explore it, then triggers will go off in your mind. Explore the thing. Look, Usain Bolt, the fastest man alive to ever walk the planet. His coach never went to the Olympics. We never knew of the guy. I don't think he had been an athlete ever, but he's a coach. Now, what if you, who used to run a good time in high school, who used to win high school games, decided that you were going to learn how to coach with the experience that you have? You could help. You could go back to the same school where they know you and contribute, team up with a coach, help them in the evenings, go out there, get fit and pursue your craft. So your passion is in you. If you expose yourself, something will go off. Don't sit there lazy waiting for passion to show up. Don't sit there saying, I don't feel anything. I don't know what I want. I don't know if that can work for me. Stop thinking of all the reasons why you can't do it and think of all the reasons why you can do it. Start focusing on finding it and not focusing on you not having it. And then you will come to it. As I think it was Shakespeare who said that it's not the stars that hold our destiny. It is within us and it is in ourselves. And we can find that star and uncover, unleash, unravel all the things that are around it and let it shine. Look, diamonds, that you have to dig so far to get those diamonds, those chrysolite rocks that make the diamonds have to go under so much pressure to come to something great. Look, everything has to go through struggle. Everything has to go through pressure, from the seed to the baby to the fetus in the womb. Everything goes through a certain amount of pressure to make something of itself. Now you must stand up and decide to go through that uncomfortable journey so you can unearth whatever is in you. Have a good day. All the best. Go for it. The best life you will ever live is living a life that you are proud of, that is uniquely you, that you feel that it's not even work, it's just pursuing your own destiny, and you will do it for free. That's the best life you will ever have. Now stand up and decide that having the best life is possible and you will do it. Start to explore ways and means to find your passion and your calling. As I think it was one philosopher, I don't remember who it was, I think it was Charles Darwin, who said that there are two most important days in your life. Is the day you were born and the day you found out why you were born. Have a good morning. Thank you.